All right, welcome back to Reelcast Fishing. Your host, Glenn with the City Battle Fishing Fuel Team, COAF on YouTube. And this round, what have I got for you? Well, we're talking fishing. In fact, a recent trip where I hit a local pond fishing these, well, the inline spinner, the rooster tail, in fact. And I was using the Flight Feather Kingfisher. I believe I just posted some info here. I got the video running up here. Let me just go ahead and mute it so you don't have to hear all the stuff on there. Okay, yeah, let's mute it. Okay, here we go. All right, the plan that I wanted to do here was just kind of walk you through what I was doing. And in this case, I am out there checking out a particular location. Sonic Pond is what I call it. All right, and it's right next to, well, the Sonic Drive-In. And here I'm just casting a inline spinner, rooster tail, 1/16 ounce, ultralight bait casting style. Got that Handing Magical 4.5 foot rod along with the Flight Feather Kingfisher. This is that blue and orangey color. And you can see that I'm catching a bass or two in this case. So what I'm doing is just casting it. I'm having to deal with some of the greenery, this algae-like thing that kind of grows in the ponds, especially this time of year, especially after we had some rains and then it gets hot again, and that stuff just starts growing like crazy everywhere. And, well, it makes it very tough fishing because it definitely will clobber your line. But that said, I was able to get at least the pattern figured out. And, well, in this case, what I found out was just doing a steady retrieve, making sure I kept that lure in the upper part of the water column where I could keep it just above that green stuff that was down below, about another foot or so down below. It would definitely get really clobbered. Anyways, by doing so, that steady retrieve, I was able to find the pattern and get these guys to strike. Most times they were standing pretty close to shore. Most of the hits being maybe, I'd say 10 to 15 feet, if not just close to shore, maybe 3-4 foot. And I was able to catch a few fish this way. Again, steady retrieve, making sure I kept that lure in the upper part of the water column because of all that junk in the water, that algae and whatnot. The other thing is I am fishing just a steady retrieve and casting and kind of scouting the pond and whatnot. I know there's some bass on beds. I see a couple that were on beds, but in this case, I didn't bring what I would normally use for catching these guys, which was some bass, or correction, with some plastics and whatnot. Oh, it looks like Nathan's here. Hi, good evening. We're just going over some what's been biting, at least for yours truly here, and it's been mainly bass, and then the occasional bluegill and sunfish hitting these different ponds that are in our area. And here, I'm mainly casting more of an acute angle, if not parallel to the bank. I am fanning out in deeper parts at times, but for the most part, I'm getting most of these hits along this one. I guess it's about 3-4 foot from the bank. What happens is the water will kind of dip, and right there is a vegetation line, and I've found over the years that as long as I can get my lure along that vegetation line, I could get these guys to come up and strike. And this was later in the evening, about 7 o'clock. I think I fished till about 8:30. Got dark on me, and the bite picked up as it got darker. And I had a good opportunity probably catching some nicer ones. But you'll see in the end, well, I end up breaking off and losing my inline spinner. I am using a rooster tail, 1/16 ounce. I went with a chartreuse, but I normally like using the fire tiger. This is that one that has a chartreuse and kind of a hot orange looking color mix into it, and that seems to work well in general. But here I'm just using a chartreuse one. Still 1/16 ounce. This ultralight bait casting style can handle these lures no problem. The one that I'm using right now can handle a 1 gram trout magnet, so no biggie there. And well, so far, I'm playing it pretty conservative, just kind of working my way along the bank. Not rushing it, but as it got darker, I did start kind of casting more often. And you can see here, I'm starting to get a more frequent bite, as well as you'll start seeing a little bit bigger size bass.
Give you some more of the, well, just the action stuff.
Alrighty, and there's one case while I'm fishing along. You'll see here in a moment, I believe,
Come on, right there,
a bass kind of. It looked like he was chasing something, and so I went ahead and cast toward that location, and somehow I caught him. All right, so you'll see that here in a moment. I think right here I'm just kind of casting away, and I'll get something will tag my lure, and I'll go ahead and recast, and sure enough I'll end up catching him. All right, yep, there we go. Nice, fun stuff.
Putting a little bend in the rod.
Bear with me, I'm gonna have some coffee here. Anyhow, I just want to run the video, let you see what I'm doing, ask any questions. You can see I'm getting some bigger bass than what I was catching earlier. 4-pound test line, strand mono. Not that braided stuff, nothing fancy. I think here, yeah, right there. Did you see that? That's when a bass had chased something in the shallows. So I went ahead and cast back to him. There's going to be a duck that's going to fly by and hit my line, but no biggies. I end up still catching this guy. All right. So in this case, if you see a bass or at least something start chasing bait fish in the shallows, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and cast toward that area and see if he'll go ahead and chase what you are casting. In this case, that rooster tail, inline rooster tail. All right, little spinner, 1/16 ounce. I've had really good success with that inline spinner. I do have another one of my ultralight bait casters back there. I just put a MEPS inline spinner there, one that's used for trout and panfish. And I think I might be heading out there probably the next few days and give that one a try. I do have, I believe, I put a Rapala X-Wrap right now because what's going to end up happening here is shortly I'm going to break off. I'll have a pretty decent hit, and he'll snap me pretty quick. So I'm really wasn't ready for that one, but I end up getting this guy though.
There we go. Looks like the evening bite.
All right, yeah. So fishing. I did post the long form video here, so you can actually hear the information and whatnot that I'm talking. Just a little banter there and back, just talking about what I'm doing fishing wise and just kind of seeing what can I catch with this online or inline spinner. I believe this is one where I'm going to end up losing him here shortly. So there's the cast. Boom. So he tapped it. I had him on briefly. Bang. He broke the line on me. So bummer. It happens. Anyhow. That's pretty much all I had this round. Anyone have any call outs? If not, I can go ahead and end the stream here and maybe play a little bit with the little sound effects that I got here. All right. What is this one? Oh, woo, yay! Anyways, appreciate it again. And until next time, we'll catch y'all later. And good luck. Good fishing.